Are granite countertops actually radioactive, and do you need to worry about it for your health? The radioactive materials we use for bombs and for nuclear plants is mined from the earth. So it's not a big surprise that other rocks found in the earth also have radioactive elements in them. This is true of granite. It's also found in concrete, sometimes even higher because concrete is made from rocks. And it's also found in bricks and blocks and pretty much all stone products. There are really two different contaminants that you need to think about when it comes to granite. One is gamma radiation. This is the most destructive of the radioactive contaminants, all right? It is what you would worry about if you were a firefighter trying to put out the fire at Chernobyl or 3 Mile Island. It gives people cancer very quickly, and it is absolutely horrible for you. When you see that little meter that makes the funny crackling sounds, that's a Geiger counter, all right? That is measuring gamma radiation. And you can actually buy a Geiger counter for not that much money, and you can measure the amount of gamma radiation found in your granite slab. Well, gamma radiation sounds incredibly scary. The good news is that it drops off super fast as you move away from the slab. So right here, if this was granite, I would probably be in the radiation. So when you're right down on granite, it might have a slight effect on you. But when you move even an inch away, it's drastically reduced. So to give you a little perspective on the gamma radiation, you're always exposed to a base level, and the higher up you go, the higher this level gets actually. So if you live in Denver, you have higher background radiation than if you live in the Midwest. And if you're flying in an airplane, that's one of the highest places where you're going to be exposed to background radiation. To give you some perspective, let's compare everything to a chest x-ray, because that's the most common form of known high-dose radiation that we get. To fly across the country, California to New York, is going to be a quarter to half a chest x-ray. Now let's compare that to having a hot slab that's got a decent amount of gamma radiation in it. It's going to take about 10 years of you working in the kitchen for multiple hours a day to get the same level as one chest x-ray. And how often are you touching your countertops or laying on them? Very, very minimal. So while gamma sounds scary, it's actually not really the one you need to worry about, in my opinion. The second source of contamination is radon gas. Radon gas is a naturally occurring gas that comes out of rocks, it comes out of the soil because it's down in the earth. Especially in the Midwest, we have to worry about that gas coming up through the cracks in the slab underneath our home and through open crawl spaces and being in the air we breathe. It's actually a very serious health issue and is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. If you've ever seen a little white circular fan-shaped item on the side of a house with a PVC pipe coming up to the top, that's a radon mitigation system. And what people will do is pipe down, drill a hole in the slab, and they'll have a fan that just runs continuously, and it sucks the pressure out from underneath the slab, and any radon gas that would be coming up into your house is then ejected out and away. The level that the EPA recommends saying, hey, you need to fix this at is 4 picories per liter. Now that's a really obscure measurement if you're a normal person like me, so just think 4 is what the EPA says we need to mitigate at. But radon gas is a carcinogen, it's bad for you, so there really is no safe level of it. I personally would install a system at below 4. In my personal house, it's like 0.83 or so is the average, which is considerably below 4. So I personally did not install a fan there. So you're probably wondering, can you test for radon gas as well? Or if you can test with the Geiger counter, will that tell you, is there radon gas in the slab? And the answer is, unfortunately, no. There is not a strong correlation between the amount of gamma radiation in your slab and the amount of radon gas emitted into the air. Studies have shown that a hot slab, meaning a piece of granite that is high in radioactivity, might release up to 1 picori per liter. And remember, 4 is the mitigation level. And that's going to be just where it's installed. So if you do have a hot slab in your kitchen, that is the worst thing that you could probably expect, is a 1 picori per liter increase. Now, if your slabs have been installed, you can get radon measuring equipment. It's very cheap. You can get a meter for less than $100, and you can put it in your kitchen and say, hey, is it reading higher in here than it's reading in other parts of the house? If that is the case, you might want to get some extra airflow in there. And if you do want to rip it out, I mean, that's up to you. But you need to understand that other countertops like quartz or Formica are going to have their downsides as well. If you are getting Formica, it's probably going to have a bunch of formaldehyde and other things found inside glues, because what Formica is a thin composite over pressboard, If you're doing quartz, I honestly think they're a pretty healthy option. It's about 90% ground up quartz and other stones and about 10% resins. Now, resins do off-gas a bit. We're talking about things like epoxy, but I do think it is very minimal. Granite is not even in style that much anymore, so you're probably not doing up everything in your house in it. If you were gonna do granite walls or granite floor, all granite inside of a bathroom, I might think twice about that personally. Now, these hot slabs are rare, and according to the EPA, and pretty much everybody agrees on this, it's not a big deal. If your overall radon level in the house is over 4, mitigate it. If you want to be more proactive than that, mitigate it. There's a bunch of other things I think you need to worry about, way more than your granite countertops. If you do want to check for the radon gas, I'll put a link to a meter below that I use in my house. You just can put it in the room with the countertops and see what it raises the level to. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you've got questions, leave them down in the comments.